Happy Friday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffery Mitchell, coming to you live on Memorex, default route, default location. I stepped up my game. I stepped up the game. The resolution I was trying to shoot for, being stingy, whingy, penny pinching, megabytes and gigabytes, because I figure if I'm gonna do these every day, I want to document every day. The audio is really what's crucial. The audio is really what's crucial on this, because I turn those into audio podcasts, et cetera, et cetera. And when I'm walking, most times I'm thinking people, if anybody watches it at all, you ain't gotta watch me, ain't nothing to see. So I would have the video resolution really low and the picture display would just not, So today, I experimented resolution, and we'll go. Have to calculate out. What I would do was I shoot a minute at different bits per second and different frames and different display size, and then I calculate the size at 1 minute multiplied by 60, and then multiply that by 365, and that should tell me about how many gigabytes that, if I did an hour a day, every day, how much I'd use. And a half a terabyte is not a lot. 500, maybe 500 gigabytes came out around there, 500 gigabytes. Even if I use a terabyte, if I get a year's worth of this commentary at a decent resolution, which I'm shooting at now, I'm shooting at 640 by 360, 1500 kilobytes per second, bit rate at 30 frames a second. So this should look, pretty damn good. It should look all right. And I think I should probably just settle on that and quit penny pinching, gigabytes, because this stuff is gonna last forever. When it goes into the museum, they're gonna wish today. I'm gonna wish, probably look, I don't wanna wish and look back. Wish I would've shot a higher resolution. Probably gonna do that anyway. I'm probably gonna look back and think that anyway. As the technology evolves, and where shooting like 4K is like the best. 8K now, they got 8K out now, but 4K is like, really the quote unquote best. It'll be in a few years, 10, 15 years maybe, 4K will be looked at as what is it? Let me see, what was the 3GP? The video we used to shoot on our phones, we shoot 3GP. You look at that stuff now, oh my God. Back then it was something, but you look at that stuff now, you go, oh my God, it's horrible. So, as we get used to better, bigger, better, faster, more beautiful things, we'll evolve the process and evolve the technology, and we'll make adjustments. But the bottom line is, I need to quit penny pinching gigabytes, quit penny pinching this, because in the long run, over the years from now, you're gonna wanna have a decent quality or at least presentable video display and color and resolution. Good morning. Have a better resolution and stuff. So that's that. And the other thing is, Fuzzy's Funk Factory playing tomorrow in Long Beach. And I need to get out more. I need to do something. I need to go to this thing. And because not only do I need to get out, I'm just not getting out for anything. Let's just face it. I'm just not going out to be going out. But hanging out in Long Beach seems like a kickback, thing. Get down there, chill. And I have to admit, Bobby Easton, Fuzzy Funk Factory, his selection of music is always what's the word? I can't say entertaining, because he goes so deep in the crates. You know, he ain't gonna play no hits. But it makes it interesting in that to see what he's gonna play. I'm almost go down there just to see what he's gonna play. Because I always tease him about Funkadelic in Parliament. And one time he did a Fuzzy's Funk Factory that he went so deep in the crates. And I'm looking around, we was in Compton someplace. I'm looking around at all these people who obviously want to hear One Nation, Atomic Dog. You know, they want to hear the hits. And Mr. Easton has made it very clear many times. He would rather not, to put it mildly, he would rather not play those hits. He said, if I gotta play Atomic Dog one more time, blah, 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 you know, One Nation, blah, 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 all that, you know. He said, if I gotta play that one more time, you know, because he wants to, you know, the obscure stuff. One time he even said, I said, man, you gotta play Atomic Dog, this and that, this and that. And he was like, the people want that. And he was like, well, what about what I want to hear? And I looked up and smiled. Because you know that kind of selfishness or self-firstness, whatever you call it, has always been inspiring to me. I like to especially hear him say it. And, you know, as benevolent as he usually seems to be, and, you know, think about other people and the whole socialistic ideal that I place on his, that I stereotypically, possibly incorrectly place on his politics. As you just lump them all in that one thing. Free everything for everybody. Nobody should have to pay for nothing. And we all should be equal. I heard a quote the other day that equality, because we have different capabilities and different abilities and different capabilities, equality is really inequality. Because we're not the same. We're not equal. And to all of a sudden try to lump us in to one thing being equal when we're not, that's inequality or something. The way they put it, it was kind of cool. The way they were putting it was saying, you know, to say that person A, who is clearly not as capable of doing this or doing that, is equal to this other person who is doing this, doing that, and say, all right, let's just say stereotypically that the ideal is to be a good person, whatever that means. If one person is being a good person and another person is not, are they still equal? I mean, just to put it bluntly. And then, of course, you can go, what is a good person? Not the point. Whatever, a good person, whatever it is you want to be under your criteria, under your subjective reasoning. If one is a good person and one is not, are they still equal? The answer is yes, because good or bad doesn't matter as far as that goes. Capability and stuff doesn't matter. As a person, they're equal. As a consciousness, they may be equal. I'm thinking if you have somebody who has a damaged consciousness, whatever that means, a damaged consciousness, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing these terms out there to make the, you know, hypothesis or the analogy or the thought experiment. Say you get that and they, how do you compare? How do you know, say which one is this and which one is that? At some point, I mean, the fact is, nothing is equal. Almost the only thing things can be equal is if they are the same. You know, that's the only way. That's the only way things can be equal is if they are the same, and things aren't the same. This dude waited all this time to walk over there. He didn't walk out the most inopportune time. He didn't walk across at the most inopportune time, but he was close. Oh, he's still a bus coming, I think. So, all right, now when do I get to go? Oh, you better not pass me up. You better not pass me up. Oh, come on, I hit the button. I hit the button. See that? I could probably still make it. Damn it. You're lucky it's Friday, and I'm not in a, what is this? It's broken. All right, next time. Y'all see that? Maybe that's why he walked, because he knew it was broken. Didn't work, didn't give me a walking signal. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh, equality. I started talking about Bobby Easton, my subjectively perceived view of his politics and kumbaya and bunnies and rainbows and save the world. Oh, there we go. Now we got a walk light. It's about time. It's about time, my God. I had to wait over there for 3 whole minutes. What is that about? 3 whole minutes. And why she gonna walk all close to me? She see me walking in. She can walk the other way. Give me some space, people. I want space. That's what I want. Space. But anyhow, so it'll be interesting to go down there, hear him play Nappy Dugout. Good to your ear hole. Maybe Standing on the Verge would be his dance song. You know, that kind of stuff. And then him and I think Mr. Fisher, Mr. Norwood Fisher, is gonna be down there, and the guitar player dude. And I mean, these cats always, they be playing like right around the corner from where I live. Well, you know, on Friday night, I don't even feel like going nowhere. They be like playing around there. I think John Stewart, I'm not sure who's gonna be on drum. But anyway, you know, he's gonna put together some musicians. They call it Fuzzy's Funk Factory. And he'll see, I'll go down there. Hopefully I'll make it down there. You know, yeah, I ain't gotta, see my thing is, and I gotta remind myself and put it in my mind, you ain't got to be there when it start. You can go a little late, but that just ain't how I operate. That just ain't how I operate at all. So it looks like I'm gonna rent a car. Looks like I'm with the Hertz Travel. I'm gonna rent a car at EWR when I land at 10 a.m. on August 22nd. And I'll have the car, and I'm gonna take the car back to Baltimore. I'm gonna drop the car off at BWI Monday. I'll pick it up on Friday, drop it off at BWI on Monday, and fly back to LA, get to LA like about 9 o'clock in the morning. Which should get me home in time to, you know, maybe do a few things and work. Definitely trying to work. And I think that's the car cost about $280. But for that convenience, you know, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet. Then driving is not too bad. I think it's about be 5 hours total driving. Total. You know, and then I can get a hotel. And I Googled parking at the Palladium in Times Square. Check this out, check this out. I Googled parking at the place in Times Square where the show's gonna be. I did Spot Hero or Parking Whiz or something like that. Parking was $25, $35. I'm like, because I was gonna Uber. You know, I was gonna, you know, first I was gonna take all trains. And I was like, nope, that ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna take all trains, and so I said, nope, that ain't gonna happen. That's a little too much. And then I said, okay, maybe I can rent a car, hybrid. Rent a car after the New York show the next day, but it's a Saturday, blah, blah, boom. And the airport price is a lot cheaper. So, you know, I went through that. I went through that exercise, check it out, see the possibilities, et cetera, et cetera. Didn't like them, so just go. I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and rent a car, $280, and I'll have a car. And that means I got a base. And then especially that at work, when I get to Baltimore, you know, I'll take my time getting to Baltimore, whatever. And, cause I'm not gonna get a hotel. Cause I get on the plane Monday, the Baltimore show Sunday night. I get a plane Monday morning at These are 5:48, so I could be there like at 3:48. So I got damn near be at the airport, you know, damn near, I ain't gonna say right after the show, but you know, just kind of mess around after the show, take my time. You know, maybe find a gas station close to the airport or this or that. I don't wanna take the car back to the rent-a-car place and sleep in it. Because sometimes they be there 4 o'clock in the morning. They'll be there, you know, trying to help you out, and they want to move the cars to get them out of the way. And then sometimes the airports don't open up until 4:45, I think, or something like that. And I'm TSA pre-approved, so I'll just walk right through. Spirit Airlines, and also I gotta remember on Spirit, 3 hours before the flight, I can check to see if I can get exit row. I get free, I think I still got that. I gotta check, because I think I may have not paid for my, I think I might have not have paid for my Super Saver upgrade at Spirit. I think I might have let that lapse. I gotta check that. I'll go back, I'll check that today, see where I'm at, because I'm pushing everything over the Breeze now. I'm pushing everything over the Breeze, all my credit cards, payments, go through Breeze. All my, you know, monthly bills, blah, blah, go through Breeze, and then I just pay Breeze off so I don't get any charges. So it's like it's no charge. You know? Other than sometimes, you know, they'll try to charge you, people, merchants or whatever, try to charge you for using a credit card. But, you know, all that goes on my Breeze card. Breeze Airways has the routes from Pittsburgh, and I think Cleveland, a couple of them in Cleveland, but the good ones are from Pittsburgh to LA. Budget prices, nonstop. So we're working with that. So I got that all, it's going. And I gotta do my taxes, get my taxes reevaluated. They said they're doing for the last 3 years. So I got the paperwork out, it's sitting there on the table. Just gotta do it. I didn't wanna do it during work. I tried to stay away from, well, yesterday I kinda did. Yesterday, I kinda dabbled in on the other computer and was doing stuff. And I didn't like it. I don't want to do that. I want to be focused, you know, and not be messing around doing this, doing that. Like I want to shoot this video here, upload it to YouTube. By the time I get to YouTube, it'll be processed and a transcript will be made, and I can run Note GPT against it to generate the summary, and then post it to Facebook, my routine, before work, so I don't have to do any of that while I'm on the clock. This seems to make the day go better. In my mind, it makes the day go better if I concentrate on work and leave that empty space. Don't fill that space, any empty space that may occur during the day, with trying to do something else. You know, because I was doing stuff, you know, for years. I was doing like 2 jobs at once. Well, you know, that's kind of a drastic way to put it, but I was doing a lot on the side, doing work and stuff. And it probably added up and took its toll on me or whatever. I don't know. But anyhow, so tomorrow, I got something to do. Need to go see my mother too. Feel like I need to go see her. Gotta figure that out. Maybe go out there next week or something. After work Wednesday or something. It's probably about time for my sister to hit me up anyhow. Can you? Blah, blah, blah. Watch, she gonna hit me up. Can you come out? And she know my schedule. So can you come out Wednesday after work and stay till 2050. No, she's pretty good about it. She does a good job. I can't say anything. She's in the game. She's in the fight. She's in the she's battling it out. You know, I may be an unsympathetic, ogre, mean, Satan, demon, you know, but, you know, it comes down to practicality to me. How can you talk about practicality about somebody's life? I can talk about anything. We're allowed to talk about anything, speculate and hypothesize and wonder about it, ponder anything. So that never should be the question. The question should be, why aren't you? Not to answer a question with a question, but to show the gist of it. Just saying. Why in my head did I think I wanted to go for an hour? Now I got an hour in my head. Now I think these podcasts should be an hour long. Okay, so it was an hour, and this comes out to be a gigabyte a day. 300, see, if it comes out to be a gigabyte a day, 365 gigabytes a year is not a lot. It's not a lot. It really isn't. For a whole year's worth of doing this stuff, that's not a lot. That is not a lot. A gigabyte a day, 365 days of the year, that's 365 gigabytes. That's not a lot. You can almost get 3 years in a terabyte. So, and I dance in terabytes. Terabytes is what I do now. In fact, I found a 2 terabyte SSD drive. It just happened to be laying around. I was like, what the hell is this? 2 terabytes, oh my God. 2 terabytes don't do nothing for me no more. I got 4 terabytes, 1 terabyte external drives, portable, non-powered, just sitting around. SATA drives, and the 150 gigabyte, 250 gigabyte drives, I might as well throw them away. Let's just be honest. What I'm gonna do with something like that? Actually, I put it in the case and do something with it. Actually, I could do something. You never know. But the speeds aren't really there, but you really don't need the speed because you're not using them for any process. You're just using them for storage. And you just wanna, use it once every so often to pull something off of there. But I got a hard drive box, and in the hard drive box, I got a caddy that does SATA. You hook up 2 SATA drives and 3.2, USB 3.2, so it's fast and it does stuff. And I can just, have a hard drive repository where, it's got hard drives not in the case or anything, where you just gotta take them and you gotta plug them into something and make them work, but you don't need all that stuff because this is stuff you don't use all the time. This is stuff that you intentionally, it's not supposed to be used every day. So I got the storage. And I can afford the storage. It's not that bad. But, I don't want to, I just like nitpicking about it, let's face it. I like being stingy, nitpicking about it, figuring out the best possible scenarios for productivity versus economics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I overdo it. And I enjoy it. I overdo it and I enjoy it. I wonder how much better this looks. This should look really good. I'm almost excited. In fact, I probably might, when I get home, I'm definitely gonna throw it on the computer. I might throw it on the TV just to see what it look like. 1500, and even though it's 640 by 630, somebody told me that's big enough, for what you do. So the size might not matter. What might matter is the bits per second, the bit rate. Because most people gonna watch it on their phones anyway. And as long as you get a decent look on the computer, because some big screen was 3800. My screen on my laptop is 3800 something. And I'm shooting at 640. That's almost like, you see what I'm saying? That's 1/4 of the screen size, and if you increase the screen size by 4, you're gonna lose a lot of clarity and definition. But it got to the point where it's too much. Like, that's too much. I gotta find a better balance. And that's what all this whole process is about. I think maybe that's what life is about. That's what life as an individual is about, and that's probably what life in the long term is about. trial and error. Try this, oh, that didn't work. Oh, this works. Hey, let's try this again, okay? And then that, if you think of it that way too, everybody ain't gonna make it. There's gonna be some sacrifice. Not even sacrifice, some people just gonna fail. You gotta have failure. Failure is necessary. You're not pushing yourself, you're not going far enough. If everything you do is right, why they really clean this stuff up. Now that I was walking, I didn't even notice. They really cleaned all that back up there up. I didn't even notice all that stuff was gone. Those burnt up shopping carts, the ground, I don't remember seeing none of that. Wow. But I did see my guy out there who's been there for a while, real nice. And he bless you, tap his heart and wave, real, you know, humble and, you know, kind of, not noble, but, you know, real like humble and not meek, but, you know, just gratitude, whatever you call the words. And I was like, I should give you some money, but I don't want to start no trend. I should give you some money. Maybe I'll walk by and just accidentally drop $5. So I don't have any tie to it. Who knows? Who knows? Where I'm at now? 26 minutes, 28 minutes. I can stop at 30. Do I got anything else to say? Question is, do I got anything else to say? Woke up, Mr. Scale told me 199.4 this morning. So I'm waking up under 200. I'm feeling good, be eating my salads, my potato chips. And we'll see what I do this weekend. Hopefully, like I said, I do want to go to that fuzzy thing, just so I can sit there and see what Mr. Easton and Mr. Fisher and them gonna do. And just to be able to sit, you know, and maybe eat, you know, get up, get my steps, do breakfast, do my, oh, excuse me. Oh, I should just do it and not say excuse me, because you probably can't hear it anyway. But walking, does get your digestive system moving and passes stuff. Stuff passes through you and it feels good. Another thing about walking, huh? Just getting out, getting the body moving, walking 5 miles a day, every day before work, and then going to work and walking probably another 2.5 miles, 3 miles. You know, that's what I does. I think it's keeping me healthy. I know it is, in more than one way, even psychologically and mentally. Just being out. Just being out. What does that look like? How clean a picture is that at 1500? Well, I guess I can shoot all that when I come back. So, you know, I'm walking towards the sun now, so that's why I show up a little clearer. But if I was walking backwards, when I walk back, the sun would be behind me. I'll be backlit, and I don't know. Hell, I might not even be still talking. Yeah, but are you is the question. I'm good, but are you? Yeah, see, it goes back. It's a two-way street. I'm realizing it's a two-way street. You know, I get out of my lane sometimes and expect people to get out of their lane when I'm not in the right lane. And one time I remember crossing the street on a left arrow because I looked at the street light and it said, I looked at the traffic light and it said green, but the walking light didn't because it was a left turn. And I stepped up and I looked at the person, I went, whoa. And they pointed and I went, oops. They pointed, I said, oops, excuse me, my bad, my bad. See, I know I admit when I'm wrong. So I thought they was gonna run me over. That's what I was saying. Don't run me over. See how that look if I come back in the sun, watch when the sun comes up. Sun comes back out on my face, lightens everything up, brightens it up. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. We're coming up on 30 minutes. Should be like, what, 500 megabytes? We'll see. Because I don't know if all of them will go an hour. I don't know why they was going an hour. 4 hours long. What the hell I got to talk about for an hour every day? What is that about anyway? Just trying to see the resolution on this. Not that I want to show you the trash and stuff to be happening out here. Just want you to see how the resolution is. And it's shooting towards the sun. What it looks like. Coming to the corner. You know, I think. So that's where we are. Oh, and there was a football game yesterday, Hall of Fame game was yesterday. And I missed it completely. I just watched my Steeler podcast. It got me excited about the season, about the defense, with their commentary, what they say happening. Training camp, they got the pads on. First game of the preseason is next week. And we, of course, obviously not going to play the starters. Or I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to play at all. I don't know how that's going to work. But it'll still be interesting to watch. Even if it gets in the not garbage time, but, players that kind of may or may not make the team, practice squad players, things they're looking at. Because the stars and the veterans, I have to realize that they've done this so many times before. They really don't need a training camp or this or that. That's probably more for camaraderie and getting team stuff down and hopefully some innovation. But they're professional. So they're gonna come into camp in shape. They're gonna probably be doing a lot of these exercises and workouts throughout the year. They know what they can prepare for. It's not like they just, a clean slate. And I'm starting to realize that more and more that a lot of these cats been there, done that, skip all this because they already know it. Or they can talk to, people get caught up to speed, little nuances, changes to that. But, they've been doing it not decades, but for a while. So they know. They don't have to be, it's like everybody ain't got to learn the whole offense or defensive schemes all over again. You kind of know. But hopefully there's some innovation. Hopefully there's some change, especially this year. Hopefully they're trying to do something. Because we're excited that we got 3 lockdown corners. So we can play man-to-man against anybody. And that's going to free up the blitzes and free up that. Where we in zone, miscommunications, people running wide open for years. That's been happening for years. People running wide. Tom Brady would just eat us up. You could just see he was just smarter. He's just smarter than us. New England, maybe that's the way to put it. I always respected New England and Patriots because Belichick and them was just plain smarter than Pittsburgh. They may not bully them. They may not be as physical. They didn't have to be because they had people in places where you weren't. That's why I went to see New England and Pittsburgh for the first time. I sat on the New England side at Heinz Field. I sat on the New England side. And one game, I think it was the first game of the season, whatever. Yeah, I think it was the first game of the season. I think they got their rings. I went to Foxborough. I went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I went up there, flew to Boston, and went to Steeler Patriot game. Them was some arrogant fans, but they was in such a refined, dignified way. They just wasn't sweating anything. They just like, they knew, one of the greatest dynasties in the history of the NFL. They didn't even have to brag about it or it was just so subtle, their arrogance was just so beautifully subtle and refined. It's like, yeah, great. They were like, yeah. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It's probably just what you expect from a New England type of crowd in the stands. I'm in there with my Steeler jersey. I'm trying to rough it up, root it up a little bit. And they're like, yeah, cute. I was like, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But we'll see what games I go through this year. I gotta wait and see any good ones. And then the cold weather, that cold weather always kicks in. I'm like, oh my God. In the wintertime, Buffalo is probably gonna be in the play. Kansas City is probably gonna be in play come playoff season. And, you know, playoff season come the playoffs. So such thing as playoff season. So we'll see how clear this looks, how all that looks to you with the higher resolution. I got high hopes. I got high hopes, even though it's not, you know, when I do shoot, when I go to Ohio and I shoot there, I shoot in high resolution. I shoot everything in high resolution. That stuff I want to keep. You know, that stuff is precious. But this stuff, let me see. How clean does that look? How clean does all this look? How clean does that look? Is that clean? We'll see. We'll see. Because I was watching the video, and to be honest with you, I was looking at it. I didn't have to say to be honest with you, but I was looking at it and I was like, you know, this stuff is really horrible to look at. Even though it was hard to look at. Even though it's supposed to be about the commentary, et cetera, it was just it just really wasn't good at all. I had to at least go to 1,000. And I realized that. But I went to 1,500, so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Then I'm gonna go to 2,000. See, you can take it up as high as you want, but it comes to a point you want to balance. You want to balance. Like, how much of this do you really need to see or want to see? Does it really even matter? Of course, if I flip it over and you get to see me, even though I'm horribly backlit, it's still me. You get to see me. So that's lucky on you. You probably want the highest resolution you can get. You probably want not 4K or 8K, you probably want 16K. So you can take in all of this. And I understand that. I completely understand it. I get it. I get it. If I were you, I would want to do that too. If I were you, I would want to do that too. That's what I would want. To get as much as me as possible. Yeah, I feel pretty good. Yeah, I feel pretty good. We just got to see what we got to do tomorrow. If I can get out to the fuzzy thing in Long Beach. Just, you know, drive down, nice day, drive down, chill, maybe not eat. Maybe not eat down there, you know, only eat breakfast, stay light, and then get down there and have something, find a spot, eat, chill, listen to music. I was thinking, get down there tomorrow and be hanging out with Mr. Easton and possibly Mr. Fisher. I'm just going, you know, should that happen, you know, say, oh, I asked him, say, hey, so how much you think it costs to make a Parliament album, a real one, with all the players, all the best players? You have people come in and create a Parliament type album with all the best players. How much you think? Rough idea how much something like that costs. Get Mr. Clinton, Mr. Collins, get everybody's input. everybody, just many people as you can, and record it, engineer it. Well, we do a lot of recording engineering ourselves, I guess. But, you know, to do all that, how much you think it costs? How much these people charge you right now? I was to go to Mr. Clinton and say, Mr. Clinton, can you do this for me? How much to do this? How much to help me do that? You know, because I could take my she scares me beat, that she scares me based on a beat, and definitely turn that into something. Because I got some stuff. Just sit down, maybe spend a week or so with Mr. Clinton, listen to the music I created, see if he feels anything here, record everything, you know, hit mad libbing or whatever. Because once you get that down, you can turn it into something, you know. So, get it set up. I'm thinking, we just set it up, we listening to it in the headphones and recording in hopefully a quiet room. And even though it's, you know, not formally in the booth and this and that, you know, I'm trying to get it pristine, just get it close enough where, you know, just try to get it as good as possible and mix it and do this and do that. You know, just kind of like ad-lib it. Just, you know, no formal words, just say what you feel, you know, just flow with it. And we both kind of bounce off each other, have other people, and people just ad-lib and come up with something and go from there. Make something out of nothing, I guess. You know, how much would that be, you know? And I keep thinking that, and, you know, damn well that, you know, I should do this myself. I need to do something. I need to do this myself. I need to get off my ass. I need to do some stuff. I do. I got the power. I got everything. And I just need to do it. I need to make something happen. In fact, I think they started a chat. Oli called me yesterday. Started a chat. Rod wanted to talk about doing something with LA Maggots. So I'm gonna touch base with him, see what he got. Seems to me he has some financial assets. We could probably get together, figure something out to where, well, I don't want to say we donate a show, but we put something on that has a chance of making a profit. But if it doesn't, we won't die. Everybody gets paid, everybody gets happy. We put on this event and we'll see how much profit we can make off of it, promoting it, doing this, doing that. So how many people get to come out and pay for it to the point where it's already paid for, so musicians got paid. Let's just have a good time now. If we make money, we do. If we don't, we don't. And then look how much we lost and made. Do we want to do this again? You know, was it worth it? I think that's the way music, that's probably the way music and these things go anyway. Money's put up front. You may or may not get your money back. I think Oli said yesterday, he said, he did this, he put that together, he did this. He said, I only lost 150, so it was cool. I was like, oh, okay. That kind of gave me some insight into, you know, how these things work. 'Cause he put together a band and did something for somebody or something, you know. And it's got to be rewarding to them. And it would be rewarding to me, even though I'm not playing in it. You know, just to come together, have some serious influence on what happens and what doesn't happen. Not that I would really want to have my hands on it, because, you know, I still like being a fan and being behind the stuff and be surprised, and, you know. And to be honest, it seems like I ain't gonna say I get what I want. That's a crude way to put it, but I usually get what I want without even having to say anything. I guess it might be my body language. It might be in my history and my reputation. People aren't already understanding what I know. Now, there could be these little and talks where I just lay out how I think it should be. It could be these walk and talk, how I lay out how I think it should be and put it out there in the universe. And it's picked up by this or by that. I don't know. But how can I get out here every day and just talk for an hour? Just walking, talking. That's all I ever wanted to do. That's all I ain't gonna say it's all I ever want to do, but it's pretty much one of my early report cards, and I still got it. And I posted Jeffery talk anytime he feels like it. And if there's nobody to talk to, Jeffery will talk to himself. Oh, I'm so proud of that. 3rd grade. I'm so proud of that. Because that's probably what I always wanted. And I realized to be able to do that, you got to do it by yourself. You got to control the conversation, the narrative, and what's said and not said, and the focus and the subject matter and all that. You really got to be by yourself. You can't be with other people because they're going to have influence on your conversation, and they should. They have a right to input stuff. They have a right to, bring up subjects and stuff. Here we go. Hey, Mr. Bussy Man. Hey, Mr. Bussy Man. Earth, Alien Earth. I'm gonna watch that. Alien Earth is supposed to be like an alien where it's supposed to be like an aliens kind of thing. Woo! Looks like we gonna do it, y'all. I don't want to anticipate because I don't like to anticipate all that much. But it looks like we gonna do it. One more day. One more day of work. And I'll have a full week. My first full week in a very long time. This is gonna be my first full week in a very long time. I might go back through my time card just to see. Because it's definitely, before that 12-week leave of absence. And even before that, I'm sure I was missing once a week. Once a week I couldn't do it. I can't do it. Once a week, but now, it feels so good. It feels so good to enjoy work like this again. It does. Maybe because it's so important. Maybe because so much of my livelihood depends on it. It just makes my life better. It just makes your whole life better. That's a good way to put it. I'm gonna take a snapshot, just for kicks. See if I can take one of me. Just to see how I look at this resolution and see how much, gigabytes, because I gotta quit being cheap. Even if it's a gigabyte a day, that's 365 gigabytes a year. That's like almost 2 terabytes. That comes down to, if you really think about it, I was being over here. You really think about it, that'd be, if I do an hour a day, and that's a gigabyte a day, and 365 days, you can probably get 2.5 years on a terabyte. And a terabyte ain't shit. Terabyte ain't shit no more. And all you gotta do is throw it on there, They just sit, you know, you just archive them. You have backups, you know, that you have protected. And you can have, in fact, this is important enough to buy an 8 terabyte hard drive just for this. I can afford that 8 terabyte hard drive. A terabyte is 1,000 bytes. So that'll be 1,000 days. If I do a gigabyte a day of this, that'd be 1,000 days. You get 8 terabytes for like $120, $130. Pretty high speed too. You don't even need high speed. You can probably get a cheaper, you know, thing of storage. Cause it don't gotta be fast, it just gotta be there. So I might have been overthinking it. And I made a lot of videos that probably came out looking pretty bad. But a resolution went there, but you live and learn. You live and learn. Then you look back and say, oh wow, look. You know, even if it's a gigabyte a day, 365 gigabytes a year. That's nothing. That's a third of a terabyte. If I did that right. That's right. I keep going. I can't believe it's not that much. So I get 1,000 days in a terabyte. And an 8 terabyte drive, I'll get like 7,900 days. Shut up, Jeffrey. What's wrong with you? But uploading it, I ain't worried about that either. The smaller files uploaded really quick. I ain't gonna worry about that either. Cause I'm getting 5G out here right now. When I stop doing this, looks like I'm gonna go for an hour just to go for an hour. And I'll upload it and we'll see how fast it uploads to YouTube while I'm walking. Cause the smaller file size, I mean, it went really quick. Smaller file size, just like boom, 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 you know. And that's how that went. So, see, I'm shooting with the backlight. So if I come over here, it's less backlight. You come like that, you see the blue, see how the blue gets deeper in color. And you can see, when I come over here, you get that backlight again. It washes out the picture. It kills the clarity. But we'll see. We shall see. You see that person behind me? You see that person behind me with the new 1500 on the higher resolution? Let's see. There's a person up there walking. I'm gonna turn around. Let's see how clear you can see them as I walk. You see that person walking there? Is it that clear? If it is, it's a lock. If it is, it's a lock. I'll have to keep it at this resolution. Anyway, happy Friday. Happy Friday. 2 days off, got through the week. I can remember when Monday started. I remember Monday. The weeks just go by. And I feel like I need to make something happen. And let's be honest, I gotta be truthful to myself. Making something happen probably means quitting these damn black and miles. Because I can't do it in moderation. I need to get off work and keep working on my Jeffery TV stuff for hours. And waking up on Saturday and doing it. Not being so lazy. I need to come out of that, the mindset to these. Oh, thank you. See, she did it right. You hear that? She said, oh, you're right. You hear that? That's how you do it. And so I said, thank you. A lot of people don't do that. Yeah, see, she did it the right way. Thank you. And she be out here. I be seeing her out here a bunch. She be usually with other people. I recognize her because it looks like she always smiling. Not really smiling, look like she always showing teeth, like she always be like this. She always be like, did I actually stop, turn around, flip the camera and face the sun just to do that, to make fun of that lady? She always be like squinting with her teeth showing. Yeah. Anyway, feels good. Feeling good feels good. Feeling good feels good. And we'll get through this Friday. We'll go through this Friday. I ain't gonna say get through it, because I don't want to anticipate anything. Take it one moment at a time. Get through it. And then get off work, and we'll see where we'll go from there. We gotta get off work and see what we're gonna do from there. Do fuzzies tomorrow. Get up, get my steps. Do fuzzies. Long Beach around, hang out a little bit. Be out, you know what I mean? Be out. But we'll see. We shall see. And it's gonna entail getting up and getting out and not laying around being lazy. Starting the day off being lazy. And not going to In-N-Out Burger when I wake up. Not worrying about what time Togo's open. Is Togo's open yet? I want a pastrami Reuben before I get out of bed. Because you definitely want to, I want to get up and get those steps knocked out. All right, 56 minutes. This is close enough. I'm getting tired. I'm running out of stuff to say. You know that's not true. You know that is very, very not true. Me running out of stuff to say. I don't know how I do it. To be honest with you, I don't know how I do it. But I've always wanted to do it. Just get on here and just start talking. Let's get on here and just start talking. And the story we tell with granddaughter, we was over at my sister's house. We was sitting around and we was having our conversation as our family does, we get loud, it's loud and people put energy into the way we talk. And, it's not that we fussing or fighting, but, there's a lot of energy and stuff. And then granddaughter, all of a sudden I heard something go, I hear something going like that. I was like, what is that? Listen. Everybody got quiet. And we heard her going, I was like, is that new? Kimberly was like, yep. Kimberly was like, yep, that's new. She did that, never did that before. And ever since then, ever since then, she just go at it. And then now, like when me and Kimberly was arguing, we was kind of hollering, we was arguing. She get in there, think it's fun. She want to get in there and start doing it too. And a couple times, we was around each other. It got kind of loud or whatever. She just wanted to jump right in there too. But she could say words now. So she just be in there trying to jump right in the middle of it. We was sitting there around and y'all say here, Ever since then, my sister, Laurie was holding her and sitting back on the couch, and we was over in the recliners or something. And next thing you know, you hear, because Laurie was talking too. We always talking, our family be talking. And be getting kind of loud and boisterous, so that's the word. But that's the story I like to tell. It's fun. Granddaughter changes everything. Granddaughter changed everything, and it's, again, evident the mother's family gets the child. It's obvious because, the daughter gonna go to their mother. They're closer to her mother usually, and things, and the mother's gonna reach out, and that maternal bond between mother and daughter and then grandchild is gonna be something. So the mother's family usually gets the most access to the child. I've known that for a while. Anyhow, swinging on y'all 2 times. For me, for the funk. And for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom, in this or in the universe, that ever was, is, or will be. The totality of it all, theory of universe. Hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffrey, and I'm coming up on an hour